Hey yo! Hey. Okay, so I'm just gonna record this real quick, just to let y'all know what I have been up to and why this YouTube channel is so inconsistent and weird. I have a bunch of different ideas, but I have a hard time finishing what I start when it comes to projects, especially projects that take a lot of time to learn new things. As you can see, I'm pretty active on my Instagram because basically it's just posting pictures of stuff that I've already worked on, and doing just basic drawings is really, really simple for me. Um, and so, especially lately, I've just been doing traditional art, so I just get to sit down, chill with my sketchbook, work on little sketches and color them using my markers, which is really fun, especially from having such a big period of my life dedicated to doing digital art. Um, Getting back into markers is really, really fun for me and really relaxing, and it's kind of a challenge to work with the different, when I have my Ohuhu markers, I don't have every color ever imaginable, so I have to kind of be creative with how I mix things. So that is really fun because I get to be creative, use my little noggin, um, all the works, plus I don't have to worry about setting anything up. Another reason why I've been kind of lacking with the digital art is because my laptop is on its last legs. This thing is praying to stay alive. Every time I use it, it has so many things. It's from 2019, so that doesn't seem super old in regular years, but in laptop years, this is a senior laptop, I believe. Basically, I can't even use it without having it plugged into the charger because it will just collapse on me. It just dies. The keyboard hasn't been able to work for a year now, I think, a couple years. So whenever I need to do coding and stuff like that, I just will plug it into an external keyboard and I use that one. So I have this clickety clackety pink keyboard that lights up. I'll show a picture. So, being a person who struggles when things aren't super easy or super fun, having to plug in an external keyboard to work on something I'm already not very good at doing, like coding, can be kind of a drag. So that's kind of the update on my on my games. Not to say that I'm never gonna release my games, but that's just how I've been recently. I had a good period of time where I just was working on my game pretty consistently. But then I found a bug in my program and it really bummed me out because game development was going so smoothly, and then there was this bug in the tutorial that I was following. They didn't debug it very well, and so in the tutorial itself there was a couple bugs that I would have to figure out by myself instead of just following the tutorial, and that kind of bummed me out. But overall, In Stitches We Awake, the game that I'm working on right now, my little debut, little baby game, little prequel to Spodacy, it's basically almost done. I know it sounds really unsure in that way, but most of it is done. It's mostly just coding and finalizing things like scripts. Sometimes I get a little nervous about things like my script or my writing, does it sound cheesy? Does it sound whatever? But most of it is pretty much done. Just a lot of debugging and finalizing things that I'm less sure about, like cutscenes. There's the singular cutscene at the end, is the one that I'm working on. So, yeah, my debut date, estimated date, was August 2024. Not to give too much of my cryptic mysteries away, but I actually really want to release it in August because it's a kind of a love letter to when I discovered RPG indie games a few years back. Now, it's been quite a bit now, huh? I want to say a few years, but that was back in 2020. That is crazy. yeah, I discovered them during the summer, and I do believe that summer is the best time to consume horror media because summer is like kind of a creepy time when you think about it, you know? Everyone's out on vacation doing other things. You're usually, out kind of isolated. It's a fun time to just get in horror. And that's when I got into horror, especially Yumeniki. So I want to release it summer for sure. August is my goal because that is when I discovered Yumeniki, and I think that would be a really good tribute. But if that doesn't happen, next summer is also a possibility. So summer 2024, 2025 is my goal. Just because there's things in my personal and real life that have kind of been keeping me busy as well. There's a few video essay ideas I have that it's difficult because if I sit down and I just ramble to myself about ideas, I feel like it comes pretty naturally. But when I sit down and I record stuff, it's really hard to say what I want to say, to re-say it. And I've been stuck on whether I want to make full scripts of everything with detailed notes, or if I just want to shoot the shit and just say what's on my mind without too much thought. Because I feel like it'll get done faster that way. I feel like me wanting to make scripts and wanting to make really detailed notes, I've never been much of a scholarly individual when it comes to my analysis. I like to just kind of speak my mind, and I think by wanting to make all those notes, I'm kind of procrastinating, and I need to just work on getting things finished. So I have a couple that I want to work on that I've been working on simultaneously, just coming up with different ideas and different talking points, but the main one that I want to work on is that I think will be a lot easier to finish too, and that I know for sure won't get demonetized or anything, because the other one has to do a lot with the devil's tango and its role in video games and specifically eroge. And while I think that's a really interesting topic, I don't know how YouTube will handle it because YouTube hates stuff like that. And that's not even a I want money kind of thing. It's I don't want to be censored kind of thing. I don't want my stuff to get taken down or to be pushed down. And I also don't know how much I want to talk about topics like that on YouTube, which is a platform which there's a lot of kids on. I don't really want to expose kids to that kind of stuff. But the other one is I want to talk about DDLC and the magic of the original game and how porting it to console and adding extra content kind of diminishes that magic, and it's a little more of a negative and a positive review of DDLC, especially DDLC Plus. And so I'm a little nervous because I get nervous when it comes to conflict and things like that. Obviously discussions on the internet can turn pretty crazy, but I really do want to put something out there, put my thoughts out there. I have a lot of ideas, and there's a lot of things keeping me from sharing them, and I don't like that. So I'm trying to change it, I want to be part of discussions, and I want to be part of communities, and I shouldn't let things like people on the internet maybe being mean stop me from saying stuff I want to talk about. So, and in the end of the day, it's not like I hate DDLC Plus or anything. There's just a lot of things that I want to talk about it, in regarding especially the side stories that I think aren't brought up a whole lot, and I think it would be cool if people would talk about them and open a discussion for stuff like that. The only person I think I've actually agree with me kind of in the comment section was a YouTuber I really like, Hedgehog's Nonsense, Angry Hedgehog. Her videos are great, but she has a DDLC video in which she avoided talking about DDLC Plus for the majority of it and made a very big effort to avoid it. And in the comments, I kind of talked about my opinions of the side stories and how they kind of diminish the point. And she liked my comment, so I don't know if that agrees, but I think it's a talking point worth bringing up. So anyway, that's something that I'm thinking of. Another thing I've been working on regarding I've been trying to do more audio projects, especially with my back and shoulder injury. I want to work on stuff that doesn't have to do as much with my arms. So using my voice is pretty nice. I've been recording several like little song covers, things like that, which has been a little scary but also really fun. So that's been cool. And then I also am recording a sort of English audiobook version of Higurashi. It's completely unofficial, completely fan made. I'm starting with the first book, which is Onikakushi, just the first game basically. It's free on Steam, but I wanted to reread it again because I read all of Higurashi and I love it to death, but I wanted to reread it again, but I was wondering if there was like an audiobook version that I could just listen to while I did other things. And the only thing that exists is the Japanese drama CD, which is basically an audiobook, but it's only in Japanese and there's like rarely any subtitles for it. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just pretend that I am some like audiobook reader person and like I'm recording an audiobook for Audible or whatever, and I just do a dramatic reading of Higurashi because I own all the games and I love the games and yeah. And so I've been doing that. I barely started it, but it's been super fun to just act out everything, and hopefully it'll be cool for people who want it, who want to listen to it, or especially because part of the reason why I wanted to do it is because Higurashi doesn't have a light novel version in English yet, and it's really hard to get people into the series because it's under kind of a niche visual novel title. But I always have to explain to people that like it's a visual novel, but like the gameplay is just reading, so it's basically just a book. So you just read a book on your computer, but you can't do it on your phone, and you can't listen to it, and you can't do it physically. It's just dumb. I don't know. I feel like the story is really good, but because people think of it as like it's just some dumb anime game, that people will avoid it. So basically, I'm trying to get my coworkers at the Barnes & Noble I work at to get into Higurashi. That's basically the only reason. Anyway, this has been cool. Been able to warm up my voice because I'm going to record one of those. Also, I feel like I should just explain what this speed paint is. This is Scorpius. Many of you have seen her from my posts on Instagram, but she is the main character of... I want to say main character, but she's honestly more of a supporting character than anything, because you are the main character in Spodacy. She's the leader of the Spodacy program, which, if you couldn't tell already, is Space and Odyssey mushed together because, I'm super creative. Anyway, yeah, it's just her looking cute, and I'm hoping one day I can release Spodacy and it'll be so very cool and I can finally get my ideas out there, in game form. But yeah, I've just been wanting to record like an update video for a while. But I never knew what to talk about, or I would get stage fright, that kind of stuff. But, I just sat down and started talking, so who knew it was that easy? Okay, catch you on the flip side. Bye!